This is Chapter 3 Selections, Programming Exercise 9, Business, check ISBN-10. An ISBN-10, or short for International Standard Book Number, consists of 10 digits, whereas D1, D2, D3 all the way to D10, and the D denotes 4 digits. Now, the last digit, D10, is a checksum, which is calculated from the other 9 digits, right, D1 to D9, using the following formula. So we are given D1 to D9, and we have to calculate for D10 using this formula right here, which is basically D1 times 1 plus D2 times 2 plus D3 times 3. You keep doing that until you reach plus D9 times 9. After you do all of that, then you mod the final value by 11, and you get a number between 0 to 10. And if you get a number that is 10, right, the checksum, which is D10, if it's 10, then instead of concatenating the whole 9 digits with 10, you concat the whole 9 digits with an X, according to the ISBN-10 convention. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to write a program that prompts the user to enter the first 9 digits, and then we have to solve for the D10, for the 10th digit ISBN, including leading zeros. So your program should read the input as an integer. All right. Now that's going to be a little bit tricky. After we calculate for the D10 or the checksum, we still have to make sure that that it displays the leading zeros. Now, before I go on, let me show you why it's a little bit tricky. So let me create a few values here. Let's call it 0 and let's call it 1. And of course, 1 will be 1, 0 will be 0. Now, when I try to display something like this, let's see, we were to just display 0, that will work. Let's see, that shouldn't be an issue. But what if I want to display it as 0 space 1, right? If I'm not trying to add it together, I just want to put it together as a whole entire line. So for example, I want to display at 0, 1. Let's see if that will work. So that should work because of this string here. And voila. But if you don't put the string here to tell Java to concatenate it, instead of displaying 0 and 1 like this, or actually, I'm not sure if I probably could make it more clear by doing something like this. If I want to display something like this, 0, 1, 1, and do something like that, and that will solve it, right? Bam. But if I don't put a string here, it will try to add it instead. All right, we'll get 2. So that's the tricky part. We want to make sure we display something like that correctly. So make sure that when we're displaying the value, you gotta make sure to concatenate it correctly with a string. So hopefully that will keep that in mind while we continue this. So let's simplify this whole coding question that we're given if it was a little bit confusing, right? So what this program wants us to do is asking us, ask the user to enter 9 numbers from D1 to D9, all right? And each number is going to get, each value right here, or variable in this case, will get its own digit, its own integer value. After that, we take that integer value, the very first number, we're going to take that and we're going to multiply by 1. Then we're going to take the next number and we're going to multiply by 2. The third number, multiply by 3. fourth number multiplied by 4, fifth number by 5, sixth number by 6, seventh number by 7, eighth number by 8, ninth number by 9. All right. After we do all that multiplication, then we're going to add it. All right. After we add it, then we mod it by 11. And then when we're modding a number by 11, we're going to get any number between 0 to 10 or less than 11. And that's why they say if we get a number that's less than 11, there's a possibility that we'll get 10. Now, try to visualize this, right? If we get a 10, this digit won't be considered 10 digits long. It'll be 9 digits plus 2 extra digit lengths right here, 1 and 0, and that'll become 11. It'll be 11 numbers instead of 10. And that's why if we get a 10, we replace that 10 with an X. Okay, now continue. So after we calculate for D10, we have to do a check. We say, hey, if D10 is a value that's less than 10, right? After we calculate this and store into D10, if that number is less than 10, then concat all 10 numbers together. Else, if D10 is equal to 10, right? Because that's the only other possible value, then we concat all that number together and we concat an X to the end of the string. Okay, so let's try to visualize. We're given 0 as D1, 1 as D2, 3 as D3, 6 as D4, and then all the way to the end where 7 is D9. We're going to grab all of this number and we're going to plug it into this formula right here, and we're going to try to solve for D10. And we're going to do a check after we solve. After we solve it and we do a check, then we display it. Alright, so let's try to tackle this question through code. Alright, now let's see. Let's make it simple and let's just say int D1 equal to, let's grab that from here, 013601. 013601 267. 267. Comma D2 equals 1, D3 equals 3, D5 equals 0, D6 equals 1, D7 equals 2, D8 equals 6, D9 equals 7. Okay, so now we got all those values. Let me just double check. 01360126. Okay, that's correct. Now let's display it. Let's display it properly. Now it starts with 0. We concatenate all of this. I want to make sure it displays 0 and not end up adding all the number together. So the trick to that is simply make sure to let Java know that you want to turn this whole thing into a string and not an integer. We could say something like this, right? D1 plus, and then add this little string character right here, and this no space string character, and Java will immediately know, okay, so you want to turn this into a string. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and then don't really need this at the end. Let's try running it and let's see what we get. Voila, exactly that. Now, this right here is D9. Well, not D9. The 9-digit ISBN, and we want to change that into the correct ISBN-10. So, how do we do it? Simply just plug in the formula to solve for D10. Now, D10, I'm going to let's create a D10 right here. D10. Okay, and then we could solve for D10 right here. D10 equals to this whole thing modded by 11. And it's going to be D1 times 1 plus, all right, actually, D2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Change that to 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Get rid of the plus. All right. Could we make this look any nicer? Do something like this, or we can just bring that all back. All right. Okay, so what's going on is going to multiply first. It's going to do all that multiplication, then it's going to add itself together, and we're going to get the final result as mod 11. Finally, just do one little check here. Now, our check will be, hey, if D10 is less than 11, then what we're going to do, well, we're going to grab this whole thing right here and we're going to paste in here, and we're going to say something like this: ISBN-10 space, and we're going to just concat D10. Else, simply concat an X to the end. Ooh, forgot one little thing here, and that's to make sure to not add number, but to let Java know that I want this as a string, not an integer. And in this case, what I could do is put X here, and we're pretty much good to go. So, what does this become? Let's find out. We're gonna run this. We have this right here. And bam, so the final value is 1. So let's actually test that for ourselves. Why don't we just test that for ourselves real quick to make sure that we are doing this correctly. All right, so we have D1 times 1. Well, D1 is 0 right here. So 0 times 1 is 0, sure, plus D2 times 2, D2 times 2, let's just go up here. It's much easier to do all of that. D2, let's space it out. Actually, I don't really need to do that. I got it down here, right? So D2 times 2, 2 times 1 is 2, plus 3 times 3 is 9, plus whatever times 0 is always going to be 0, plus 6 times 1 is 6, plus 7 times 2 is 14, 8 times 6, 48, 9 times 7, 63, and now we're going to add all of this together. So 0 plus 2 is 2, 2 plus 9 is 11, 11 plus 0 is 11, 11 plus 6 is 17, 17 plus 14 is 31, 31 plus 48 is 79, 79 plus 63 is 82, 142, 142, and now you mod this by 11, and modded by 11. Let's see, 110, 121, 130. Wait, what am I doing correctly? 110, 121, 132. Am I doing this correctly? Did I math correctly? I feel like I didn't math correctly. Damn it. Did I math correctly? Okay, let me just double check. 0, 0, whatever times 0 is. So 1 times 0, 1 times 2 is 2, 9. Oh man, I didn't math correctly. There's a 24 here. Let me just double click. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Jeez. Math did not correctly. Man, that's embarrassing. Alright. 142 times plus, well, let's say 142 plus 24 equals 164. 164 modded by 11. And then let me see, 110, 121, 32, 43, 54. No way. Am I not mathing correctly? Man. Well, whatever result should be end up being a 12 as the remainder, and then you mod by 1 should be 1. Alright. 2, 9, 24, 0, 6, 14, 48, 63. Alright, I'm gonna have to cheat a little. System.out.print line. Man, math. Jeez, that's embarrassing. Now, system.out.print line 166 modded by 11. mod by 11, the remainder should be 1, and that's why we add the 1 at the end. Woo! Man, that's embarrassing. Couldn't even add. Anyway, alright, so hopefully now with this visualization here, you know how we came with a 1, which is this, what we added at the end right here, that 1. We concat to the end because it's not a 10. Now, we do have another example that will turn this into a 10. And therefore we'll get X. Alright, so what is that number? What is that number? 013031. Hope I don't mess that up again. And then 997. Bam. Alright, now let's change all of that. 013031,997. And let's math that again. Right, so this should now equal to whatever the final value should equal to 10, but instead of concatenating a 10 to the end, we'll concatenate X. First, let me make sure that it actually turns out correctly. So it'll be 0 times 1, which is 0, plus 1 times 1, 1. 3 times 3 is 9. Whatever times 0, 0. 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 6 times 1 is 6. 7 multiplied with 9. 63. 9 times 8, 72. Plus 9 times 8, right? And then 9 times 7, 63. Now, I do not want to embarrass myself again. So, what I'm going to do is just straight up ask my compiler for help. Help me out here. Don't let me embarrass myself twice. So we got this whole thing right here, 229. 229 modded by 11. Let's find out what we're going to get. Uh-oh, made a mistake here. less than 10. No, anything less than 10. Because what happens is, instead of concatenating x, I concatenate a 10 to it. Man, I did embarrass myself twice in one day. I wrote that right here, less than 10. But I made a mistake on my program. I wrote 11 instead. Okay, at least it's not that bad, right? Okay, so what I want to show you is, after we calculate this 229, all right, we're going to take that 229 and we're going to, mod it by 11, 229, mod it by 11, and we get a result of 10. Oh, wait, what? 9. No. Where did I go wrong again? But this time it actually displays as an X. But why did this display as a 9? What did I do wrong? Okay. 0, 1, 3, 0, 3, 1, 9, 9, 7. Once again, math wrong. But no, I have to make sure I did do this correctly. That way I could show you it physically, right? So 0, 1 times, oh my god, right here, that is supposed to be a 2. Therefore, adding 1, making this a 30. That way when you run it, this is a 10, and when it calculates that number as a 10 and it sees that as 10, it concatenates this whole thing with an X. Therefore, now you get 10 numbers, 9 numbers and an X. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, there we go. We did it. We finally did it. All right, let's actually go over this whole thing again. So this whole thing, you see, it's actually pretty simple, right? It's really, really simple, and I made it unnecessarily complex for no reason. Okay, so what's going on? Normally, you will ask the user to enter 9 numbers. Each number will go to this specific digit, whereas D1 will be the first digit, D9 will be the 9th digit. In this case, we already set these digits here. That way we could easily solve for it down here instead of constantly asking every time when we run the program, and that's why I did that. So after we got the digit for each variable right here, we have to calculate for D10, the checksum. To calculate for D10, simply follow the formula where D1 times 1, and you add that with D2 times 2, and you keep doing that until you reach D9 times 9. You find out the whole thing, and you mod it by 11. After you mod it by 11, you want to find out if D10 is any number that's 10 or less. If it's a number that's if it's a number that's less than 10, then you concatenate that number, because it's a number between 0 to 9, and that only takes 1 digit space. If it's a 10, it takes 2 digits of space, 1 and a 0, making a length of 11. So because of that, you could display D10 if it's a number from 0 to 9. If it's not a number from 0 to 9, if it's a 10, else, which is the only other possible scenario, else, that means we got a 10 and we concat an X to the end. All right, so hopefully that makes sense, and that didn't add any unnecessary extra length to this video.